This girl is wise Soel-Ah, but who would have thought she is the personal disciple of the sword master. Holding the power of life and death in his hands can kill hundreds of demons. With just one slash. Divine sword wise Soel-Ah, the one that slain the demonic. The one who caused the great war between good and evil. And this young man is Yang Cheon, born into a prominent family of the righteous, and lived as a righteous martial artist before betraying and joining the evil sect. The evil sect lost the epic battle between good and evil. He was tormented like a prisoner of war. Wise Soel-Ah tried to ask where the surviving nobles had gone. She cried and begged him to tell her. If he tells her, she will do everything to save him. But he couldn't speak, his vocal cords were ruined, and was the curse on his heart. He thought she was asking him that because the person she had made a pact with was taken away by evil sect. But if he told her that he was falsely accused, then do you believe him? If he had a bunch of reasons to explain, but it was too late, no longer makes sense. Then he decided to say it using his hand, try to write on the brick floor. She saw this action and told him, Yang Cheon, what are you doing? Ignore the pain of the heart and liver. Finished writing to the last word. Then the heart like constricted pain. Torture him again. He quietly cursed, why did my life become like this? All the regrets big and small that make up my lives. The body can no longer endure it, so close the eyes. I don't know how much time passed, but a voice echoed in my ear. Potatoes, do you want to eat potatoes? What is this? He looked at his arm, wonder what the hell is this? It is clear that we have violated the prohibition of the devil. Then the heart was blown up. Then breathed his last in Soel-Ah's arms. Maybe so, but my heart still beats normally, as if nothing had happened. Then he took his hand off the heart, still reading his soul. Moreover, look at these small and clean hands. This is definitely me as a child. Then he turned his head to look to the side. But why is this the first time I meet her? Seeing the girl handing the potato to him, he thought, what did I say then? The memory of that moment came back to him. He used his hand to knock the potato off her hand. Her eyes at that time felt surprised when she dropped it. Then he deliberately used his foot to crush the potato in front of her. How dare a human like you block my way? Shameless thing. He remember it and my brain hurts. Did I say so? Having a dream like this shows that I still have many regrets. She is still shy now. Brother, you don't like potatoes? He reached out and took the potato in her hand, then laughed with the happy laugh I like so much. Then he took a bite but immediately felt his tongue blister from the heat. It's not real, but it feels so real. She saw his expression and smiled happily. She laughed and said, your face is red. At this moment, from afar, someone ran over and called, young master. He reflexively turned his head. Young master, you suddenly disappeared, it turns out you were here. This must be my guard, what's his name? Yun, right? He told him he was worried something was wrong. But he was now sticking out his tongue because it was blistered from eating the hot potato in his hand. Seeing that, he immediately reacted, intending to draw his sword and looked at the little girl. How dare you? But you put your hand out to stop it, it's okay. What? Honey cake, give it to me. Honey cake? Then he gave it to him. This is the last one. He took it and gave it to her. Do you want this? You give it to me. Of course. The guard was surprised that the young master was willing to share with others. What a strange thing. He scratched his head shyly. I got a delicious potato, but this is all I can give you. She looked towards the honey cake. That saliva was flowing down. Wow, this is the first time I got something this beautiful. Smells good too. Suddenly a voice from afar hastily called out loudly. Make everyone turn to pay attention. That person was her grandfather, looking for her. Here you are. I told you not to let go of my hand. It's okay, I got the potato. We don't talk about that. Then Grandpa asked her with concern. Are you hurt? I'm fine. He immediately recognized who this person was. Then she pointed at him. Oh, I gave this guy a potato. But he said nothing and grabbed her hand and pulled her away. Grandpa, why did you drag me away? Then he immediately bowed his head respectfully. My niece does not understand the rules. She really offended you. I sincerely apologize to you. He smiled and replied, no problem. I just want to give her this cake. Then he clasped his hands together. I'm hungry. Luckily you're here. Give me a potato. I can only repay you with this cake. Hope you accept it. He looked at his cake and hesitated. Sir, before he could finish his words, she happily came over. Receive, I receive, very fragrant and sweet but not yet reached. He took the girl and left in one go. No way, we cannot accept something so valuable. I dare not disturb you anymore, I beg your pardon. Wait, young master, if you are not happy then you can. Then he ran to deliver the cake to her hand, said, here it is yours. See you again. Seeing his granddaughter's expression, smiling, he found it difficult to speak. Then the two people discussed wanting to buy more potatoes. He thought, this guy, so are you found it? Then the two bowed again before leaving. The two people left, and he finally breathed a sigh of relief with a tired mind. Sir, are you not feeling well? That old man was the one who once held the position of martial arts leader, and is one of the 3 peaks, praised by the police as the strongest in the underworld, caused terror and fear to the evil sect disciples. Sword Venerable Wihayagun. But what is the sword master doing here? Even though this is just a dream, I almost got killed. She still turned her head to look at him. Smile warm happy. He also smiled spontaneously. Young master, let's go back to the palace. Okay, let's go back. So I have no more regrets, now wake up. But after a while, young master, we are there. He looked at it with his mouth curled up. Damn, it is not over yet. If this is a dream, I should be awake by now, right? But if this is reality, is it related to the curse of the devil? Suddenly from inside came that voice. I didn't expect you to not run away but still dare to show your face back. He realized that this person was the fire sword Gu Yanseo, my second sister and the person who hates me the most in this world. So why do people gather here? Because the sect master is coming, Gu Yanseo told him. What are you planning this time? If you still want to make trouble, stop right now. And go away. But he immediately pushed his hand away from his body. I am here because of duty. You just appeared now and you dare to speak so eloquently? Yes, it's my fault. I apologize to sect master later. Even the servant doubts life, will the young master apologize? Hearing that, Gu Yanseo shouted loudly at him. Gu Yanseo then showed her momentum. This momentum alone created a huge crater. When she gets angry, I don't know what you are going to do, but better stop now. I will not forgive you if you continue to be so shameless. He once again put out his hand to stop it. Wait a minute. Dad, that's not right, the sect master is coming. His father looked down at the two people, what was going on? Then he and everyone performed the ceremony together. He was also confused when looking at him. Then he turned his head and said, where is the person? Yes, boss, is there any sword team left? The first swordsmen have returned and are resting. The 4th sword squad is currently awaiting orders. So tell the 4th sword crew to get ready and come visit me. He think he don't know if this is a dream or reality, but that gaze is still as heavy as ever. Then he turned his head and spoke to him. And Gu Yang Cheon. After you finish eating, come to my room. Some people heard it and couldn't believe it. Even he was shocked. Then ask people around, do you have digestive medicine? The sky was now gradually turning to evening. Inside the room, people are starting to prepare for dinner. He looked at the pile of food on his table, then sighed. The atmosphere of the meal was the same as before. Damn, I can't tell if I'm eating with my mouth or nose anymore. It's so annoying to hear father calling. If only someone could do something to change the atmosphere. He said to Gu Yanseo, I heard your martial arts have improved. Yes, I just had a little enlightenment. I got 3-star a few days ago. Very good, keep it up. Thanks father. So good at that age, she already has 3-star. That's obvious, because even though she is very talented, she still tries hard every day. When she smiles, she looks beautiful, but look at her hateful face. I take back what I just said. Then he called Yang Cheon. I heard you were down the street. Yes, I have something to do so I went out for a bit. Hearing that, he immediately snorted and slammed his hand on the table to stand up. I'll go first, you guys continue eating. He found it confusing and thought, Dad seems to want to say something. Dad said he wanted to see me after dinner, so I guess. Very quickly a girl came up and whispered to him. The boss said today is a good day to rest. Come to his room tomorrow. Why did Dad suddenly change? After he returned to his room, he sat on the rooftop looking out. I'm not awake yet, this is not a dream. Is this the so-called reincarnation I've heard of? Then he slammed his hand down on the floor. Maybe this means I will be able to kill the heavenly demon. No, that is crazy. How can I kill the guy who defeated 3 masters who are considered equal to the heavens? In my previous life I had to live as a cursed demonic human, under the heavenly demon just to survive. I realized I have too many regrets. But my life full of regrets has helped me realize many things. If I really was reborn, I want to choose another life. Heavenly demon will be killed by Soel-Ah, and the evil sect will disappear too. Until then, I will live a peaceful life, do what I can. I cannot miss this opportunity. Don't repeat regrets from past lives. So first. As soon as he finished speaking, he suddenly felt a source of energy gathering inside his body. A burning ball. But not much different from his past. I searched all over my body, but this is all the internal energy I found. My little internal energy made me realize how good my sister is. She is only 1 year older than me, but she is already a 3-star. But I still have a way. I can practice the secret technique that is only passed down to the bloodline of the late family, the Gu Flame Wheel art, by cultivating it slowly like blooming a flower. When I become 4-star, I'll be able to emit flaming internal energy. And when I reach 7 stars, I will be able to wrap it around my body. But right now I'm just 1 star. I have to practice internal energy a lot, as soon as possible, and polish it until it becomes 2-star. To live a smooth life unlike the previous life, I should not borrow the power of demonic human anymore, but instead strengthen your own power. Then he tried to do it exactly like in the textbook. But his sweat was now dripping. The problem is, he had just finished using his energy when it seemed to disappear again. After that, he lay down on the bed. If I tried harder I could have had anaphylaxis and died. With current ability, using internal energy is not easy. If I continue, I may have to endure retrograde energy. But there is progress. Even though it's early stages, I've become a 2-star. Keep it up, step by step. To have a life different from the previous life, I will not act arbitrarily anymore. To prepare for the coming future. When the sun shone into his eyes, he suddenly woke up. Why does my whole body hurt like this? Just a little practice. It's because I didn't practice hard enough. I have a long way to go. Wait until afternoon then go to father's room. So until then let's practice a little. But when I opened the door, Soel-Ah was here. Still smiling happily at him like before. Hi, again. Scene changes to a man looking up and someone asks, "What are you looking at? Aren't you going back?" It doesn't seem to be a star. An eye appeared in the sky looking down. This person is afraid of, what? Then a giant foot of the monster immediately crushed. One day monster appeared from the sky. It is the gate to the demon world. Each sect raises a group of people to fight against monsters. That group of people is called the sword units. A sect must have a sword unit. And Gu clan has up to 5 units. Big sister Gu Hwibi is the general of the 5th sword unit. And I was always lectured by her. At that moment he was dragged on the ground. It was also the first time I officially met Soel-Ah. The potato story was half a year ago. But she was there to wave to him. "Oh my, I slept so late last night," she said, "wait a minute," while grabbing his shirt with her hand. He just responded, turned his head, and looked back, unable to believe what was happening. She smiled and said, "I'm so happy to see you, from now on I." But before she could finish her words, her grandfather knocked her hand away from his shirt. "I told you, you can't talk like that to the young master." He turned and looked back. What did he say? "You apologize to the young master, I'm sorry." Words that he did not have time to load. What is this happening? Then he bowed his head again. Make him confused. "My name is Wee Mun, from now on, I will serve you to show my gratitude to the sect master. You may not be satisfied with the service of a frail old man, but I will do my best." "Why Mun, isn't this Wee Hyagun?" She also introduced herself. "I am Wee Soel-Ah, I will also help my grandfather." "Nice to meet you." He thought, serving who? What, is it me? Father must have given the order. Then he sighed accepting this. "Nice to meet yo." This feeling is like starting life and already having trouble. Then he said, "Can you call me Yang Cheon instead of young master?" "I understand, young master." "Oh, okay." A moment later, he saw him sweeping the yard with a broom. He couldn't believe it and asked, "Is that a broom?" But saw him very ordinary calmly swept. I thought to myself, really? But more importantly, why is she so clumsy? When I saw her carrying a pile of clothes and dropping them on the ground. She must have a talent for martial arts. Why does it look so bad? Then he started to move and turn as if he wanted to leave. Seeing that, she ran over. "Soel-Ah, where are you going?" Saw her eyes still filled with tears from the fall just now, but standing in front of him as if clinging to him. He confused, huh? Why don't you finish what you're doing? I'm told to follow you wherever you go. Who told you that? It's Grandpa. He thought to himself. So Soel-Ah is my servant. I think they just pushed the responsibility onto her. Because they don't want to deal with me. I am still the child of a prestigious family, but is it okay for my maid to be decided so superficially? Well, Soel-Ah is fine too. But Sword Supreme is too much pressure. Then she ran to fix his shirt. When she finished, she smiled happily in response. He thought as he adjusted his shirt. Does Dad know their identity? Or is it that Father doesn't care because so many maids have given up? Dad told me to go to his room. I can go there and find out later. He sat down to put on his shoes. Seeing him go, she also followed behind. Young master, wait. He immediately turned his head and said to her, where are you going? Stay here and get used to everything first. She heard these words as if he was scolding her. Tears welling up again, yes. He looked at her with many emotions in his heart. Then he went out the door to remind her once more. Learn how to do your job. Her sadness appeared on her face, not daring to follow. But before he left, he told her, hey, I'll bring you food when I get back. Hearing him say that, her emotions once again became happy when mentioning eating. He walked and thought to himself, oh, it's really scary. We were never this close in our past life. I have never had a private conversation like this with my father before. What should I say? He must have something to say to me, that's why he called me here. After hearing him say, I will ask why Soel-Ah and why Hyagun are in my room. But while he was thinking, his father appeared behind him. What are you doing? Crap. You surprised me. Come in. Okay. He came in with a worried mood, saying crap in front of the clan head. I should have just died back there. Then his father asked. Have you seen the new servant yet? Yes. I just said greeted to them. I see. What do you think of them? I'm grateful you appointed me a servant for my convenience. But I'm just wondering. But he still leisurely drank a cup of tea. Then reply. Do not ask me yet. I will let you know in time. I understand. So father sent them as servants despite knowing everything. Did father make some kind of deal with Hyagun? His father continued, don't worry about this little thing. Prepare to head for the Unified Dragon Assembly tomorrow. Yes. Then what do you think the Unified Dragon Assembly is? But very quickly, his eyes gradually became unsteady, sweat began to flow out. When he got back to his room, he said, cut my throat. Hearing him say that, Muyun's heart was sweating. Young master, do you hate going to the Unified Dragon Assembly that much? Yes, it is an important event to select new members for the sword unit. Held every 2 years, for the safety of the sword unit. The warriors who closed the gate knelt, sacrifice life for Gu clan and Shangxi people. It is a mandatory rule. Those with Gu clan bloodline must participate in this event. I told you to cut my throat. I'm dead, so you don't need to participate anymore. But won't the sect master kill you himself? Also hold up the roll of paper for him to see. Even Elder Lee will be there. You heard it and were startled. Elder Lee? Yeah. He'll give you a beating if you try to run away again. Damn it. He remembers the past. Among the elders, Elder Lee is especially strict. He always believed that I had to behave properly, because I am the only son in the family. I should be grateful, but he is quite busy. However, he still comes to me to teach when he has time. All the scolding and punishment made me want to stay away from him as much as possible. Even Dad never cared about me like that. He muttered, not expecting that even though he was taught by him, he would still be as miserable as he is now. What's wrong? No, I'm just talking to myself. So when do we go? We will go as soon as everyone is ready. Then he questioned the Manhwa crowd. Are you done? Sorry young master, I'm taking care of Soel-Ah. Soel-Ah, is she causing trouble again? The crowd hesitated. Then she stepped out from the crowd. The sight of her wearing this new outfit today is heart-touching. His face also became a little hot. When looking towards Soel-Ah, she walked up and said, young master, everyone says I am really pretty. He was shy and didn't dare look straight at her. So what? But he thought it was pretty. Then she lifted her hair up. So do you think I am pretty? Seeing this scene, his heart was burning like lightning striking his body, trying to suppress it. Nonsense. Let's go. So am I pretty? Let's go. Hump. Then everyone set off on the horse-drawn carriage. She poked her head out to feel it. Gosh, how cool. The carriage is moving. Is this your first time riding a horse carriage? Yes, I thought horses were just for eating, but I didn't expect them to run that fast. Huh? He also poked his head out now. Mu Yun, where did you say that this unified dragon assembly was going to be held? At the Heavenly Exchange, young master. That's the most famous shopping district in Shaanxi. Seems like Elder Li put a lot of effort into this one. It will take about 4 hours. Why don't you take a nap? I couldn't sleep because I practiced all night, then thought I haven't been sleeping much lately, but inside at the moment there was loud talking which made him angry. I'm telling you, horse meat smell funky, but it's still delicious. He immediately put the candy in her mouth. Eat this and shut up. She immediately sat down and ate the cake without saying anything more. This sight makes her look like a gluttonous pig. And now he can rest quietly. Finally, it's quiet. I will take a nap. I don't know how long it took, but her voice appeared again. Young master, is the cake gone? Okay, I know. Soel-Ah, have you told the young master we're here yet? Oh right. In a dazed herd, he woke up. Are we there? Then lift the curtain. A magnificent sight met his eyes were the bustling streets with street lights. It's a large, crowded, and exciting festival, and she used her nose to feel something fragrant. A man came from afar. You must be tired from the long journey. I'm Chun Ishil, the vice merchant head of the Heavenly Exchange. It is an honor meeting the rising star of the Gu clan. He also replied, I am Yang Cheon of the Jiu clan. He said his first day here went very smoothly. Thanks to Elder Li and Miss Gu's efforts. You must be tired, let me take you to your room. Hearing the name reminded him. Gu Yanxiu? That voice still echoed in his head. This is really starting to test my patience. I won't come across her, right? It was at this moment that he saw her enter the room. Eyes still the same as before, looking at him and saying TSK. He called, Hi, sister. Don't be so sisterly with me to make me angry. While I do not believe you will cause trouble here at the United Dragon Assembly, but don't do anything to tarnish the family's reputation. He replied, I will be quiet as a mouse. So you don't have to worry about me. After hearing that, she got angry. I'm worried about you? Then she noticed the person standing next to him. Seeing his deep eyes looking at her, Soel-Ah hid behind his back in fear. Then she continued, Are you going to act like you usually do here too? What are you talking about? I thought you had changed, but I was wrong. Then she slammed the door without explanation. What happened to her? Let's go. Sorry about that. It's okay, I heard that brothers and sisters often argue. You must be tired, take a rest. Can we stop somewhere first? But when they reached a large place, the crowd kept shouting, Wow, so big, I have never seen such a big building. Although I have also heard that traders evaluate each other's financial strength by the amount of money they spend on organizing the festival, but isn't this a bit too much? Today is a day to honor the Swords unit and their extraordinary efforts. Matches will be held tomorrow to select new members for the Sword unit. Luckily, I don't have to participate. The only thing I have to do here is stand and watch. It's so peaceful. But he didn't know that behind him there was a person full of murderous intent walking towards him, so you didn't run this time. He just turned around to look back. An old man put his hand on his head. He looked at this speed suddenly, not good. But the result was surprisingly different from what he imagined. He rubbed his head and smiled. He asked, What's the matter? Don't you always run away whenever you see this old man? Who said he would break me in half if I didn't show up? Who would dare say such cruel words? It's you. He was startled when he heard that. Then patted his head again. Oh, now you still dare to argue back. Seeing him rubbing his head, he thought to himself, I want to puke. The second elder has always been a strange obsession with me, maybe because I am the sect master's only son. And Soel-Ah now opened his mouth very wide looking at him. Wow, it's a bear. Bear meat is delicious and horse too. As soon as she finished speaking, he turned to look at her with murderous intent. Her voice gradually became smaller when she saw his eyes. And then tears welled up. Then switched to hiding mode behind him and whispered, I don't want to eat bear meat anymore. Then he see that, tell him. Elder, you scare her. Huh, you're worrying me. Is that child your concubine? What? What are you talking about? Look at her clothes, she is a servant. Well, all right. If that's what you say, then put on a bored face. Tomorrow is the Unified Dragon Assembly. Even though you're just a spectator, go to bed early because you still have to be there. Yes, yes. As soon as she heard that, she hid behind the door and waved at him. Let's go quickly before he eats us. Young master, quickly. He continued. If you run, your neck will.
Yeah.
I know. Seeing him leave, she said to him, will the bear eat you? He will strangle me first. As for him, he could still see his brother's figure, just as I thought. That child is not ordinary at all. The scene changes to the day of the Unified Dragon Assembly arrived. I thought the Unified Dragon Assembly would start early in the morning, but looking at this line of people, it probably won't start until noon. Those from the numerous Shangxi clans, or anyone who can prove their identity, are allowed to participate. However, I never expected there to be this many people. Becoming a member of a sword unit means a lot. Soel-Ah started to stutter, calling him, young master. The bear grandpa come to take my head off, then hugged him from behind, his whole body trembling. What's going on with her? Can't we just tell him to hibernate? It's spring now. If you are so scared, you should have stayed in your room, but grandfather said I have to stay by your side. He also gave up because he thought he couldn't ask you to disobey the sword master's orders. Then he said to her, it's okay, our guards here can defeat that bear. She heard and was happy. Wow, really? He explained to Mu Yun, that is the second elder. How can I touch the second elder? Moreover, you must call him in respectfully. I guess this is it then, Soel-Ah, let's just give him your head. She heard that tears could not be held back and fell to the ground. She sobbed, today is the day Soel-Ah dies, if everyone will be happy with Soel-Ah's head. It's okay, I'm just kidding, young master, I'll be beheaded. I told you I was joking. It is said that ghosts who die with a full stomach look prettier, especially the ghosts who died after eating dumplings. Then point forward, he seemed to understand and took her there to eat. You treat this servant too well. Who? Her, yes, servant we. Treat her well, didn't you see that? A servant begging me for a dumpling, but only he know. Partly because he didn't know how to treat her. Because he met her in his past life. Mu Yun continued, she doesn't seem to understand what a servant is, but you still bought it for her. I also don't understand why. You are really different from the rumors. I am so gullible and I still have so much to learn. It's just a few dumplings, you think too much. Wait, rumor. How long have you been my bodyguard? Well, about 2 weeks. I think it must have been appointed right before I was reincarnated, so I don't know who is the lucky one here, I or. Suddenly right next to him there was a loud scream from afar that startled him. Miss, you shouldn't wander around in such a dangerous place. You worry too much. The Unified Dragon Assembly is being held, so what can even happen? When so many people of the Gu clan are here. That voice sounds familiar. It can't be, can it? That's exactly why I'm worried. What if you were to, by any chance, run into the Gu heir? He was startled again after hearing that. Me? There's no way, right? There are plenty of men in the Gu family. The woman's voice continued. Do you really think that would happen? There are so many people here. Huh, that sounds rather ominous. Then the woman turned away. But at this moment our eyes accidentally met. The two sides opposite said nothing. Then Mu Yun whispered to the young master. The expressions of that lady over there, and her guard, look as if they've just seen something horrendous. By any chance, do you know who they might be? There is no way I would forget that hair which falls to her shoulders, and black, beady eyes. That ring on her hand contains a symbol that appears when examined up close. However, for me, who already knows these, the significance of that ring is not foreign to Omicron Mu Epsilon. The Hebei Pong clan. My former fiancé. There's a simple reason, a marriage was arranged with the Hebei Peng clan, one of the 4 largest clans. The Gu clan is just as prestigious as the 4 clans, and they have a child at a similar age. If nothing happens, I was bound to be the heir. And the Peng clan probably thought an arranged marriage with the Gu clan was also fine. The issue lies in the trouble I caused. All the bad rumors about me, who ditches training to cause more trouble, did not sound so favorable to the Peng clan, and what really shattered our relationship were the things I said to that girl. She said to him, why are you here? That's my line, why are you here? I happen to have some business here. You guys don't own the entirety of Shangxi. Do I need to report my every step? If you say so. Why are you talking to Mu Epsilon so rudely? Have you forgotten that I'm still a year older than you? He said in an indifferent voice.
Yeah.
Sorry. I forgot. All good now, okay? Hey, come back if you bought the dumplings. Before leaving he said to her. Whatever you're here for. Have a good stay. We go first, see you later. She saw the scene of Soel-Ah carrying a pile of dumplings. And was startled then could only watch him leave. I'm busy dealing with my brothers. I've never met that girl beside him. Is she a servant? With such a cute servant around him. Could he have changed? Then she remembered the past when the two talked. Who the hell are you? You re just the daughter of a concubine. Then she grabbed his collar. Then climbed onto the table with anger. What did you just say? I'm not wrong, am I? Then she punched him in the face. I was prepared to endure it all, even if it was an arranged marriage. Even with all the terrible rumors about you, for the sake of the Pong clan. At this time the servant interrupted, Miss, please calm down. But her hand pushed the servant away. Then walked towards him. On the hand holding the chair ready to hit down. Fuck the marriage. I will beat you to death. Just like that, the sound of smashing continuously came out. Now she remembers that scene and thinks nothing has changed since that day. As for him, he asked Seor. Isn't it too heavy? I'm fine. You don't look fine, I'll help you. I'll also help. Focus on your guarding duties. Let's bring some back to Manhwa if there are any left. She saw this scene and still found it hard to believe. There is something different about him. No way. He's probably just having fun. That crazy guy growing up? Impossible. But maybe. When she first thought of this, suddenly there was a loud noise on the other side. What do you mean? The loud scream startled everyone. Are you okay, young master? I'm fine but. Young master, is the dumpling okay? And the other side. Screaming like that won't solve the problem. Please calm down. And this guy immediately slammed his hand on the table, with a scolding. I said I don't have time. Will you be responsible if I get caught? Caught? What do you mean? This statement made the crowd immediately quiet down and wait for his answer. I never said that. Are you kidding me? Just let me join. No way. Hear words like this. Mu Yun asked him. Shouldn't we help? Do we have to? Anyone can participate in the Unified Dragon Assembly, but obviously, that's only if they can prove their identity. I was asking whether we should allow him to keep causing a scene. Squabbling over the Unified Dragon Assembly entry is no rare sight. The martial artists of the Gu clan in standby will take care of it. Then patted this guy on the shoulder and said, let's stop this here. But the guy immediately grabbed the martial artist's hand. Then one move threw him away. Throw him firmly on the floor. The person who wrote the registration shouted loudly, what are you doing? I think I've proved my skill. Can I participate now? Of course not. Why not? I showed you my skills. Mu Yun asked him one more time. We don't need to do anything, right? But you said go ahead. What about that person? I don't want to get involved in that. They'll take care of it on their own. The writer of the entry once again spoke loudly. You can't just have things the way you want. We have our own regulations. You cannot enter if you can't be identified properly. That guy continued. Isn't my skill enough evidence? That's an even bigger problem. Are you disrespecting the young clan head of the Pong clan right now? Hearing this his eyes became different. Then both he and she turned towards this guy at the same time. What did he just say? The young clan head of the Pong clan? Remember the past, she said. What are you doing? It's so cold that we lit a fire to warm up and also baked a potato. I won't ask why you're doing this in front of my room, but what are you planning to do with that plaque in your hand? This? The sweet potato was taking too long to cook, so I thought I'd use it to get the fire going stronger, but just finished speaking then she threw it at his head. Why did you hit me? It's worth it. Do you know what you are holding? Firewood. It's a plaque of the Pung clan from the clan head himself. It was a reward for graduating top of the class from the Divine Dragon Academy, and for becoming the youngest successor in history. You know what you can do with that plaque. I can use it to make the fire stronger. If you're tired of living, just say it. You need to act more like a successor. Successor, right. I can't guess what you're thinking. You have all the skills and talents. Even chosen as your successor. Yet you look unhappy. Not even close. But I just want to leave this place. So why don't you leave and come back? Then her brother left the letter with the message. I'll go out for a bit. She read it and immediately crumpled it. It seems like this bastard thinks a little bit like 4 months. Miss has news for you. Finally, can we find that bastard? Where is he? This person whispered, in Shangxi. Shangxi, why? Why did he go so far? Change scene to now. He heard and shouted, why the hell now? I showed you all that I can. So let me join quickly. I don't have time. I have to show you Dark Night Blade. To make you believe me. Mu Yun said to Yang Cheon, did you hear that, young master? The Dark Night Blade. Isn't that the secret technique of the direct bloodline of the Peng clan? Then he thought, so that guy is really the eldest son. Have to get out of here quickly. Before getting into some trouble. As soon as he finished speaking, a huge arm appeared. The second elder stepped forward. You dare to say Black Knight knife? It seems you are not a fraud. When he saw this scene, he thought he was done for. Second elder continued, he seems skilled enough, let him participate. Young man immediately clasped his hands and introduced. I am Peng Wu-jin, successor of Peng clan. It is an honor to meet you. Grandmaster Pure Flame Fist of Renowned Gu clan. It's been a long time since I heard that title. You can participate, don't worry about that. Elder, no. We can't confirm. Is he really the successor of Peng clan? He said, I'm pretty sure he is. He looks just like his father. And look at that body. That's the body of a Peng. He's just as built. The black ring on his finger, him too. That's enough to confirm his identity. I think that's the ring that Peng he has. Is this guy really the successor of Peng clan? The second elder looked at him and asked, tell me the reason. The successor of Peng clan wants to join the competition while the purpose is to choose new members for the Gu clan sword unit. Wu Jin immediately said, it's not fun in the Peng clan. That's not a bad reason. Do you have the clan's permission? And Yang Cheon thought, is he crazy? I don't think they will allow it, so I ran away. Is this guy stupid? He got more laughs. He ran away. Did you hear that, Yang Cheon? You seem to be pretty well trained. How old are you? I'm 23 this year. So young. Peng clan has raised a monster. I wish my idiot could learn a little from you. Then intentionally looked in his direction. They immediately whispered, I'm sure he isn't talking about you, young master. He called you a little idiot. Why did he say that? Shut up, both of you, hurrying me more than he did. I don't even care what he say about me anyway. If he really is Peng Wujin, then it's true that he's a monster. Not far from now, he will receive the title, Blade Emperor Peng Wujin. That means he's from the Peng clan. Wasn't there another person from the Peng clan here? Very quickly his sister ran over. Brother. Peng Wujin looked back, it's you. But before he could finish speaking, he was kicked in the face from his beloved sister. Just fly behind the gate. Her spirit was as fierce as a demon's. You are crazy. He claimed to be the successor, but leave a piece of paper and run away without a trace. Peng Wujin raised his hand to stop it. Wait a minute. Do you have any last words? Please spare me. Then the little sister's blows kept coming. You run away from home to join the sword team of another clan. You has lost your mind? You're killing me. Just die, you little shit. I think he might really die. Shouldn't we stop them? Let them be. The Peng guys are real sturdy. He don't die even if you beat him with a metal rod. But Peng Wujin was now screaming for help. Grandmaster, help, please help. Are you sure? Maybe you're right. That's enough. You're gonna end up killing him. Who dares intervene? Seeing the elder approaching, she was startled. Grandmaster Gu, sorry for the late introduction. I'm Peng Aoi. I'm sorry, you had to see us fight over such a petty family matter. No, I like to meet funny people like him. I will not forget this. I will definitely compensate you later. We will go right away. But Peng Wujin firmly said, I won't go. Haven't you been beaten enough? But Peng Wujin's eyes became determined. I'm not kidding. Why? Peng clan is not fun. So Jiu clan and other clans are fun? Definitely more fun than we are. Please, you need to grow up. You are the successor. That's why. I want to have fun before I become the clan head. The only way to avoid becoming the clan head is to become crippled, or to die, but I don't like either option. I don't want to become the clan head, but other than you and I, everyone else, are just beasts wearing our name, so I will definitely be the clan head one day. I can't have you become the clan head. That's why I accepted this successor position too, even though I don't want to. Then pushed her hand off his shoulder. He turned to him and said, "Second elder, are you really gonna let him attend? I don't think it's a good idea for us to get involved in this matter with the Peng clan. I would like to, but considering the situation the Peng clan is in, I don't know." "Then how about this? I will let you participate if you win against me," Aoi said. "What kind of nonsense is that? Second elder, have you finally lost your mind?" He laughed out loud. "Just 10 moves to decide who wins. What do you think? Is that all? Have I ever lied? As for the rules, let's see. If you manage to touch Mu Epsilon within 10 turns, I will count it as your win." What he just said. He uses his skills, sneaking behind his back at a terrifying speed. Then from above, prepare to slash with his sword. But thinking that was good, a second later he got surprised. His voice laughed, "You are so impatient," with his face full of anger. Scene transitions to the festival arena. You've waited long enough, ladies and gentlemen. Battle between the two stars. Who will lead the future of the Gu clan? The flame sword, Gu Yanseo and Gu Yanchen, the first heir of the Gu clan. Why am I sparring here? Moreover, with my sister. Return to battle of Peng Wujin. Second elder one punch knocked Peng Wujin. Made him fly a few laps and lie still on the floor. Then he smiled with a happy smile. "I won." He asked the elder in confusion. "Aren't you only supposed to dodge, elder? Did I say that? When? Anyway, it's a sparring match we both agreed to. Besides, I controlled my strength, so he'll wake up soon enough. I have nothing to do with this if the Peng clan comes knocking. Put your worries to rest. I, the pure flame fist, won't die alone. Please, die a lonesome death." Yo, this is completely on the second elder's own accord. It's fine. It's a relief he's lying down like that. Who knows what kind of trouble he would have caused. That's why such a nonsensical sparring match was suggested. Young daughter of the Peng clan. Do you really think so? I just did it because I thought it'd be funny. He thought, how did he become an elder? The Gu clan is heading downhill. Soel-Ah at this time behind the back hiding in fear, young master. Okay, let's get away from the big bear. But unexpectedly her face was different from just now. Just now, the bear grandpa, whoosh, pow. Then the wind went swoosh, then that man went kapow. And got slammed to the ground. He think her expression is straightforward. How did she save the world? He heard that and smiled back. This cute kid really has a better eye. Then gloomy over there. This old man will give you a present. A present. Then he pulled out a honey cake. Wow. She changed her attitude very quickly. Soel-Ah like bear grandpa from the start. I just knew you'd say that. Then he turned to him and said, "Are you disappointed because I only gave your servant a present? I guess this old man must also give you a gift. I don't like sweets. After the Unified Dragon Assembly, you're going to have to take part in an exhibition match. It's your turn to go on stage. You're not using a sword?" he thought as he warmed up his muscles. Sword? Did I use a sword back then? The Gu Flame Wheel Arts can be utilized with a variety of weapons, and is known to be especially effective with the sword or fists. In the end, I realized that using my fists worked best for me, and quit using the sword. Will that look weird? Gu Yanseo continued. Well, I don't really care whether you use a sword or fist or whatever. I was happy to hear that. Her nasty personality is finally being of use. Gu Yanseo grin. I'm just so grateful and happy to have this opportunity. Opportunity? An opportunity, a legitimate chance to beat up my little brother. Furthermore, it's in front of so many people. He saw this concave and convex attitude and thought to himself, elder, you really remember to this morning. Why do I need to participate in the match? And with my sister at that. You don't need to shout. Well, I don't want people to go home thinking the Gu clan is boring. Ugh. You AMN crazy geezer. I can see it written all over your face that you just think it'd be funny. Whatever, I'll just surrender midway. He continued. If you're thinking of giving up midway, then point your hand towards the unlucky guy Peng Wujin. Lying on the ground is enough to understand. He said, do you really want to watch me get beat up and lose in front of so many people that badly? And he looked at him and said, Yang Cheon. Are you really planning to lose? Planning to lose. I can't waste my once-in-a-lifetime chance to restart. I don't want to waste energy on a fight that didn't even happen in my previous life. Moreover, Gu Yanseo said, my dear brother, who will naturally become the next clan head just because you're a man. I despise you to death. The atmosphere was evident at this moment. When Gu Yanseo confronts him, begin. She rushed towards him at full speed. A sword slashed down and he quickly dodged it, then followed by a horizontal slash. As expected, he ducked down to avoid it. She continued to turn around one more time. This time he leaned back, just a little way from the sword, but still avoid smoothly. How can he, a mere 2-star, be dodging my 3-star attacks? Is what she's thinking right now? I'm making do by moving half a beat earlier than her. But even this is making me short of breath. This just shows that I lack training right now. Now, how do I get this over with? What if I just let myself get hit? Will I be in one piece after taking one of her strikes? You still only know how to dodge. This time she decided to move down. One hand grabbed his shirt, a strong sword slash that Cho could hardly dodge, but he followed the angle of the shirt to try to take it off in the nick of time. As she slashed again, his shirt was also left by him on one side. If you swing with such obvious intent, it only makes it easier to dodge, sis. So could you stop it? Just how much murderous intent does she have for my clothes to tear like that? I forced myself to that. I'd never be the clan head as woman, despite working myself to death. However, to think you, who has been wasting their life like scum, gets to shove me out of the way just because you're a man. Would you be able to understand? Her sword once again began to appear as red flames surrounded it. Did she coat her sword with martial energy? That's kind of dangerous. That level is far beyond 3-star. Then she kept slashing at him. He avoided again and again. Just in a flash. You always just run away. Again, and again. You don't do anything. You're talentless, and you don't even put in effort. If you're going to live such a worthless life, you should just disappear. Disappear like your mother did. At this point his eyes became strange. As the sword drew closer to his neck. Suddenly, she felt sweaty when she saw this surprise. Her arm couldn't move. By his hand, holding her aura also gradually disappeared. Instead his anger rose. What did you say? Sister was the coolest person I know. At only 15, she received the title of Sword Phoenix. She graduated at the top of her class at the Divine Dragon Academy, and was appointed as the 5th sword unit leader of the Gu clan. Everyone acknowledged her, but she won't be able to become the clan head of the Gu clan. Instead, the one who will become the clan head is the concubine's child, Gu Yangcheon. But I didn't hate him, although we were half-siblings. Gu Yangchuan's mother was kind to me, and I liked her too. So I was fine with Gu Yangchuan's existence. Before that happened, that is, one day, she suddenly disappeared. Father sent out the order to not look for her. So nobody did. That was when it started. Gu Yangcheon spoke and acted sharply toward everyone, and rumors spread that he touched his maid's surfaced. Still, there was no change to him being the next term clan head, since the clan head had always been a man. Ignoring me, who worked so hard. And my outstanding sister. I resented Gu Yangchuan, who was so privileged yet didn't know what he had. No, I loathed him. But his eyes were now looking at her. What? Suddenly she felt like she was in imminent danger of death. Without hesitation quickly retreated back. This is dangerous. But in the blink of an eye, he was standing behind her. On the hand that is clenching his fist, a punch reached her eyes. Also reacted very quickly. Gu Yanseo? She's the same age as me, but she's so talented. I shouldn't go around saying I'm from the Peng family anywhere. You're doing just fine, my lady. They're mumbling things. What are they saying? Can you hear what they're saying, Yobi? You won't be able to hear them, my lady. Why? The second elder has set up his internal energy, so there's no way you could hear them. Don't go around saying you're from the Peng clan with that face. Are you embarrassed of your older brother? Duh. Just stay in the unified dragon assembly until the swelling goes down. Yes, yes. So the one dueling right now is the Sword Phoenix's younger sibling? Correct. Isn't she incredible? She's already a 3-star. Her swordsmanship is smooth. The same goes for the way she wields her internal energy. Pang Wujin continued. No, not her. I was asking if the one dodging was the Sword Phoenix's younger sibling. Yes, young lord, they're both the Sword Phoenix's younger siblings. I see. Then a smile appeared on his face. So the Gu clan doesn't just have the Sword Phoenix. Pang Aoi see his smile. Also feel confused. Then remember Pang Wujin's words. That's why I want to have fun before I become the clan head. When he becomes the clan head, he won't be able to have that look in his eyes. They're done. Gu Yanxiu, when seeing his hit in her head, continually telling herself, I just have to dodge. The opportunity is mine. Then she immediately put all her strength into this slash. But he told her, I understand you. So it's okay, if you hate me. I've lived my life like that. What you said was annoying. But I'll understand it. So you, too, should understand why I'm doing this. He once again condensed the air in the palm of his hand. Her eyes now also sensed something was wrong. One of his punches swung hard towards her. Finally, due to the collision just now, she lay motionless on the floor. He is the only one standing. The match is over. Gu Yangchen wins.